Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys and one other guy who's approximately our age talk about old games. It's Other Shit Monday. We're still trying to fit more shit in between our two extensive playings of Paper Mario. So this week, our guest host has been so kind as to allow us to interview him with me asking him yesterday. So today will be the interview of Paul Clewell.
Paul Clewell. Of What's Paul Playing Today?
Yeah.
I want to just point out that asking like a day before isn't too bad for us.
Yeah.
Because I think, wasn't Ryan's interview like, hey, can you do this thing tonight?
Yeah, that's like an hour before it's like, hey, everybody else bailed, come do an interview. Okay.
I think you guys asked me about Dream Emulator like 3 hours before you're ready to record the episode.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I don't remember that, but that doesn't surprise me. That totally sounds like us.
I'm okay with it anyway. You guys know I'll come on whenever you want.
So first question of the interview, since it seemed like we weren't sure, like Tyler wasn't sure. Paul, how old are you?
32. I'm actually in between you guys.
All right.
Right in the
That's
middle.
Perfect.
All right, it's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And yesterday, of course, my car's AC is broken. Been broken for like the last month plus. It really, really sucks. And I feel bad having to take Kenna anywhere because she turns into a little puddle in her car seat. So, my brother borrowed one of my dad's cars to commute because he has like a 2-hour commute. So he got a new car, and I'm able to get his old car until my current car gets fixed. So Meg and I went over there to get the new car, and so she drove me over there, and I was going to drive back. And I was like, well, I need to run to Walmart. And Meg and I have dramatically different diets. So, like, normally I will cook something from home and get her something else out. Or, yeah, just very rarely we ever eat the same thing. So I was like, well, do you want me to get you some food while I'm going to Walmart? She's like, okay, sure. It's like, where do you want me to go? Wendy's. I was like, at what time? Well, it's okay. This is going to be a gamble going to Wendy's at about 6 o'clock, but okay.
6 o'clock. Was it Southside?
Southside
Oh,
Wendy's.
man, I hope.
Man. Our local Wendy's.
God, I hope you're about to bust out a story about my friend in the drive-thru.
So I drive through. They're slammed, but I sit there and I wait and I get up, and when I get up to the drive-through speaker or whatever, and this guy says, "Hey, can I take your order?" I was like, oh.
Is it coming through the speaper, or is it just a guy like behind the sign? Hey, mister.
He's like an Earthbound character, just like, hey, the speaker's busted, so I'm going to sit back here and ask people what they want.
He writes it down, runs it in.
I was going to do that at Sonic, but well, what can I get you? And I tell him my order, and he's like, oh, okay.
Like he's disappointed?
I guess. So I just pull forward. And he has like a lot of pauses in between, like Shatner-esque. And so I pull up to the window.
And it was William Shatner.
And it was this peculiar looking guy. And I didn't remember his name. Because I was like, oh God, I don't remember if this. I looked at the guy's name tag. I was like, that seems like it might be the guy's name, but I don't remember. So I wanted to ask him, like, I wanted to say, hey, my buddy gave you a ride. He drives that red Celica.
You should have.
But I didn't know if that was him or not.
Oh, man.
I was like, he's pretty weird. Like, he pulls up. He's like, hey, did you have he repeats my order to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's me. Oh, okay. Sorry about that on the speaker there. I just kind of looked at him. He's like, yeah, I've got the, and he waits for a second and then hiccups and then points to himself. I got the hiccups. So
fair.
I try to wait and hiccup and then, go ahead, take your order, man. I'm sorry about that. You have the hiccups? No. And he just kind of looks at me, tells him my total. I hand him my debit card. He scans it, hands it back.
Please tell me he said something about your car.
He did.
Please.
It's not a super nice car, so he wasn't going to say anything.
Neither is mine.
You've got a sporty looking car. But he hands it back to me and he's just like, yeah, man, do you know how to get rid of hiccups? I'm just like, you eat peanut butter. Oh, okay, I'll try that, man. Thanks. And he's just looking at me because I take my debit card and then it's so packed. I move about 6 inches forward, so I'm still basically in front of the window. And, he's just looking at me. He's taking the next person's order, but looking at me. So then I just put my headphones in for my podcast and roll the window up and just avoid. I can feel him looking at me on my cheek. And then I drive home. I go in, I take Megger food. I come out to the annex because I remember Ryan wrote the guy's name down over there when he gave you that T-shirt.
Right.
So I come in, I was like, oh, okay, that was not the guy.
It wasn't the guy?
It is not the guy. And I remember that Wendy's when I was in high school was a place where all the hot girls worked. So at some point they made a transition from hot girls to just weird guys.
Well, I know if things fall through for me at work, I've always got a place at Wendy's.
You can grow a wispy mustache, look kind of sweaty, and just work at Wendy's.
I can do both of those things. I think I'm qualified.
And then my other weird moment today, going through Southside, which it's not hilarious by any means. It's just a weird thing that's never happened to me. Because I messaged you about it, Dave, earlier.
Oh, right.
Because I was driving through and I saw, because I was in a hurry because Meg locked her keys in her car. And I was trying to get to her to give her her keys so she could go to work.
Buckle up, everyone.
Yeah.
Literally, buckle up.
Yeah.
This is going to be a weird one.
And I come around over a hill to go into the south side of town. And I just see flashing lights everywhere, fire trucks everywhere. Oh, shit. Okay. So I pull up, and the other lane of traffic is completely backed up. My is still down to a trickle, so it's not going to take me that long. But I rubberneck the whole way through because I'm looking through, and I see half of a motorcycle, and then a tire, and some handlebars, the other half of a motorcycle, and then a big white sheet covering, I assume to be this dead body. And then, but I don't see any damaged cars or anything around. It
might have been a picnic. They might have been having a picnic, and that's why they were all there, and they just put all
these cars keep coming. Cover up the food. I'll see what we can do about it. So as soon as I see that, I pull up my phone. I'm like, Dave, I'm really glad you're not into riding motorcycles anymore.
Yeah, let's just use this half a motorcycle to cover up that we're going to have a picnic here.
Because I've seen accidents on the road, and the ambulance comes, and they load them up and go right away.
Yeah.
This accident was so bad, cops rolled up, are like, nope, this guy's gone. Do you have a sheet? Just put the sheet over him.
Yeah. Happy episode, everybody.
Yeah. So, Dave, I'm glad that wasn't you.
I'm also glad that wasn't me. I think my response to you 8 hours later.
I was like, yep, haven't died today yet.
Pretty concerned about this entire fiasco.
What's up, Internet? I am Dave. I am your bespectacled host. And, all right, I'll play off of some of Tyler's. I haven't been to Wendy's in probably 2 weeks. So.
I hit a guy on a motorcycle today. Because there was no damaged car around. So I don't know how a motorcycle could have taken that much damage without a car hitting him and just keep the fuck going.
I cut his fucking motorcycle in half with my finger and just drove on.
Yeah, that is a good question. Maybe his motorcycle just disintegrated? That happens sometimes.
That's a risk they tell you in motorcycle school. Sometimes these do disintegrate.
I mean, all right. That's not too far off because I did go to I was interested in riding a bike, and I figured, okay, the best way to do this responsibly is to take a safety course. And I did. I went, I took a third of the course because I went there. I paid I think it was $100. I paid my $100, and it was all right, I can pay $100 and kind of get a feel of whether this is for me or not, as opposed to buying a $2,000 to $3,000 bike and then realizing, oh, I don't like this. Like that's a pretty. I mean, that would be a shitty thing. So I went to the course and I'm like, all right, cool, let's do this. And I was pretty much immediately put off because I am not a guy that like is into maintenance at all. Like that is the reason I drive a Toyota, and I've always driven a Toyota because like my dad made the recommendation of Toyota to me, and I think it was because he knew that I don't like taking care of cars or anything with like wheels on it, because he's like, all you have to do is make sure it's got oil. That's all you have to do, which I still don't. I don't do that. So
That's what the oil light's for, right? You just wait till that comes on and you go get more.
pretty much.
Like 5 years since Dave's ever had an oil change.
It probably has been. It's been probably a little over a year. That's not good, right?
No, my dad is obsessed with mowing a lawn and making sure the cars have oil. So he calls me periodically. Right now, till I go check your oil, I'll wait. Okay.
Well, that's like when my tire blew out. We talked about this on a few episodes back. What I should have done was like get new tires. No, just the next day I went to Walmart and was like, put a tire on there, please. And they were like, what size is it? I don't know. Can you just look at it?
Round?
It's round and black. I don't know. You got any of those?
Oh, it exclusively says square white ones. This is the Flintstones automotive department you went to.
So I was in the course, and that's like one of the first things I go over is like, okay, you need to do this check each time you want to ride the bike. And it was like this ridiculously long list, which I know like probably the majority of people riding don't do this checklist. Mm-hmm. But like what happened was each time they mentioned something, it was like, oh, right. Yeah. Tires. Well, I guess if I don't like maintain the tires and I'm riding a motorcycle, the tire blows out, I guess I'll just die.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
So it's stuff like that just kind of started creeping in, and it was like, I don't know if this is for me. I mean, it sounds like it'd be fun. It really does sound like one of those things where it's like, I would like to do, but like not own a motorcycle and maybe do like, you know how like when you go to the petting zoo and they like trot you around on a pony? When you're a kid, they go like around the circle. Like I think that's my level of motorcycle.
Just have like a Hell's Angel hold your hand and while you drive around in a circle.
Yeah. Thank you, mister.
Thank you, Mr. Mayhem.
I give him a kiss on the cheek. I was going to say that that game I was talking about, that fighting game I was talking about last episode or the episode before, Rising Thunder, I actually got in the alpha for that. And it's not a big deal because pretty much everyone who signed up to be in the alpha has gotten an alpha invite. But I've got 2 alpha codes. One of those is going to you, Tyler. I guess, Paul, since you're here, if you want it, the second one is yours. If you don't want it, I can leave it up to the listeners. If anyone out there wants it, let me know, and you can get in on this.
Man, I got dibs.
Okay. Then it's yours. When we're done recording, I'll send it to you. So sorry, everybody listening.
Never mind.
Nothing. It's mine.
Good day, sir. So
you get to hear us talk about it for free. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. We'll probably be doing an episode on it. It
NDA or
is.
anything, right?
It is fun. What did you say, Paul?
There's no NDA or anything, right?
No. If there is, like, okay, I'm one of those guys who pretty much just says I agree. Like when the things come up, it's like, okay, yeah, I agree. But people are streaming it. I know that much, and they're not getting takedown notices. So I really think that the Rising Thunder people are using the alpha as promotional. Honestly,
as they should.
I think it's more of a promotional thing than it is a real alpha.
It's probably just at this point a pretty polished game, and they want to make sure that it gets out there, and they're just giving alpha keys away. Yeah,
I really do think that's the case because it like playing it is not. It's not buggy. I think I ran into one minor bug, and that is at the end of a match, I couldn't leave the stat screen at the end. I had to restart the game, but that only happened once. Other than that, the only thing I could think of is like the UI isn't polished, which I hope they change. But right now it's pretty, like all the menus and stuff are really basic. Like that stuff feels unpolished, but like the actual gameplay, it's fun. It's a fun game. And it is Rhythm Master, Paul Korn, was telling me that when he got in, because he also got an alpha code, When he got in, he was playing. He sent me a message saying, "Okay, it's obvious to me now that most of the people who signed up for the alpha are hardcore fighting game people."
Yay!
Because it was, well, here's the thing, like, and my response to him was, "Oh, okay, well, boy, I did okay. I didn't play a whole lot, and I wasn't playing I wasn't playing to rank up. I was just playing to kind of have fun. I played a few competitive games. I won more than I lost, but like not by a great margin. But what I loved about it is it was so much different than like playing Street Fighter on Xbox. And here's why. Because when I got done with a game in Rising Thunder, there wasn't an immediate message from the opponent saying, "Fuck you, asshole," and then like a string of racial and homophobic lines. And this would happen to me regardless of whether winning or losing in Street Fighter. It never fucking failed. Everyone I played in that game, I had to block on Xbox Live because it would just be like immediately I'd be in another game fighting another person, and then the boop doop thing would pop up with a message, and it's like as I'm playing, like I'm reading, "Oh, okay, well apparently I like to suck cock. I don't know. Okay."
Only on Sundays, really.
So that doesn't happen in Rising Thunder because like there's no way to communicate with your opponent. That's a thing I hope they put in is not that, but where you can add friends and play like casually with friends. Because like right now there's only two modes. There's training and then the competitive mode.
No. What they're going to add is just a cocksucker button.
Yeah. Would you like to call this person a cocksucker for $1.99? That's how they make all their money. They're like, we're going to rely on the pure toxicity of the fighting game community. Because we know people are going to want to call each other cocksuckers.
Oh, I'll be clicking like a coke-addled fiend.
Yeah.
It's like the anti-Semitic pack for $5.99.
The homophobic pack for, well, I mean, come on. That's going to be their biggest seller.
Yeah,
we know it. So they're going to
KKK pack for $10. Wow. Okay.
Oh, shit.
What's up, Paul? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm just getting over being sick, so it's pretty nice. So if I'm gonna mute a lot to cough. I hope I don't think I'll mute either of you guys since we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. But
that is my biggest fear is to accidentally mute Tyler when I'm coughing. So yeah.
I am Paul, both bespectacled and bearded. So there's that.
Running the gamut.
I do have a follow-up story to the poor lady whose blouse I sneezed down. Mm-hmm. I told Dave the story earlier. There's not much to it, but I figured a follow-up story was in order.
Well, refresh us on the original story. Just
okay.
Just a couple sentences. What happened?
I sneezed down a woman's cleavage, and it was quite entertaining because afterwards I walked out the door, and I literally told her, I guess that's a no to the date I was about to ask you out on, which had the pharmacy in utter stitches. Like literally the pharmacy tech just started snickering. You could hear the snickering, and then of course the pharmacist gave her the okay kind of when he started belly laughing, which was fantastic. But the long story short is that I saw her about, I think it was like a week ago I saw her, and I was like, oh, motherfucker, I did not need this today. So
where did you see her?
At fucking Rite Aid again.
So that's usually the place where you go to hook up.
Here's what I like to think: when you sneezed on her, you gave her some kind of virus or something that was living inside of you, and
some kind of super hivs.
and it hit at the same time, right? Because you got sick again, and you're like, "Oh, I got to go back to the pharmacy." And she was like, "That guy sneezed on my boobs that one day, and now I'm sick. I need to go back to the pharmacy."
Or maybe she's been going there every day since,
looking for
hoping
him.
Paul will come back.
See, I've been back several times since it's right down the road, like maybe 5 minutes down the road. I hope that's not the case, because if it is, I've just missed her like every single time I've been there, and that'd be really fucking creepy, and I'm going to get a restraining order if that's the case.
Have you checked the misconnections on Craigslist?
I stay the fuck away from that. It's creepy.
You bespectacled and bearded.
Snotted up my tits.
You sneezed ever so gently down my cleavage.
Me, dripping with mucus.
The pharmacist laughing uncontrollably. God damn it.
Did she remember you?
She did, in fact. And,
Who made the first comment? You or her?
oh, I I tried to play it off like I didn't know her, so I was kind of looking at the shaving cream. Said, course, was there for the shaving cream, and she's giving me this fucking look, like, you know that you recognize somebody, but you're not fucking sure if they're famous or not. It's like, do I know? Did you? Yeah. She's like, what? And I pointed at her tits because I have all of the delicacy of a Stilton on her head. And she's like, "Oh my God, that was you!" And I'm like, "Yeah. Yes, it was. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." And she just went on a 5-minute tirade about how disgusting that was. And I just kind of looked at her and you were wearing a low-cut blouse in the middle of fucking February and walked away.
I was kind of hoping that you would...
I feel sorry for the guy who gets a straight load on your tits. Jesus.
Nice. No, I of course, you think of the perfect reply afterwards, because that would have been my reply had I thought of it. But no, it's just, you wore a fucking slow-cut blouse in the middle of February. What do you want from me? Of course I was going to turn around and sneeze down your top. Who wouldn't?
That is totally like the green light to sneeze on somebody's boobs, I feel
That's
like.
the perfect
We
reaction to that situation.
we can kickstart like a necklace sneeze guard that goes over cleavage.
A bib?
All it is
A
the
dome
visor,
glass
instead of
bib.
It's on your head. It's just one of those fucking see-through visors. It's just this neon green thing over your tits.
I think you should have nipped it in the bud as soon as you saw her, picked up the shaving cream and been like, "You ever shave a man's balls?"
Or uncapped it and just sprayed it on her.
She wasn't wearing anything low-cut this time. I think she learned her lesson. She also had smaller boobs.
Huh.
Wonder if she got a reduction.
Or there's something cursed about your sneeze.
Maybe, dude.
It's like a weird Stephen King thing. Thinner, smaller.
Do you have really tiny hands from like covering your mouth and nose when you
fucking
sneeze?
gorilla hands. You look at these
Okay.
things.
Or is like the Kleenex in your house, like when you're sick, get really small?
I don't
That'd be
use
pretty weird.
Kleenex for that. I mean,
It even has the reverse effect. It's ready. He has giant bed sheets of Kleenex all over his house.
Are
do you think I have
your
big
socks
hands?
giant?
It's like wadded up crispy towels all over his house.
I think the crispy was the worst part.
Extra crispy.
All right, Paul. What to you is the definition of a gamer?
I think I remember going back to the what was it, the episode where Jacob's girlfriend Galen,
Super Mario World.
yeah, where she was so passionate about the game that she just, or was that her? Where she just
She'd never
got
played it
into
before?
and tried to learn the damn thing,
Yeah.
and got so freaking passionate about it. And I think I may be blending it with Taryn's story as well, because I remember her story about King's Quest V.
Yeah.
That was King's Quest V, right?
They both talked about playing really old computer games.
Yeah.
Because Galen loved that Titanic mystery game.
Right. And Taryn
So I
played on
remember-
Marcy's carpet.
Yeah, because I remember one of them talked about hooking up later on down the line and getting a game fax and literally going through and finishing the game because she had to.
That was Galen, that Titanic game. Yep.
That honestly is my definition of a gamer. When you can lose yourself so much and have such passion about a game, it doesn't matter what game you're playing, but if you have that much passion about a game, you are clearly a gamer. You're exhibiting those signs.
So, are you a gamer?
I host my own damn show on YouTube. I fucking hope so, man.
I don't think that's really a qualifier because, like, I host this show with Tyler, and I mean,
We've never played a video game.
I've been
None of these
faking it
games are
for.
actually played. You're just watching videos on YouTube. And in fact, when you guys asked me to do those things, that's why you did that. Because like, I don't even fucking want to look up on my YouTube. I'm just gonna click this. It's fine.
Dave and I met playing rugby. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
weird.
all we do.
We were the worst players, but I mean,
We're real rugby heads. It's a term, right?
Yeah.
Rugby
Rughead.
heads.
Now,
Rugheads.
it's not
Rugheads.
for sure. It wasn't before. It is now.
we're rugrats.
I'm picturing Tyler just taking a fucking screwdriver out of his diaper.
Yo, Tyler's Tommy. I'm certainly Chucky.
You
Okay,
have to be.
that's fair.
Got the
I like
glasses
that.
and everything.
I know.
That
And
makes,
you know Tommy was rocking a beard when he turned 30.
Probably.
I want to say, I wonder if he did or not. I think Chucky had one where it shows like the future episodes of them. That's a whole other podcast where you can talk about Rugrat theory.
The one where-
Fuck the interview into a Rugrats episode now.
The one where Dave, Tyler, and Paul Write head fiction.
Try to remember obscure facts about Rugrats that are all wrong. So where did your love for video games start?
When I was a kid, I originally played my dad got a Commodore 64, brought it home, and he also had an old IBM PC, old IBM laptop that he had, and he had brought both those home, and I first started playing a game called Snooki. And if you've never heard of it, look it up. It's actually on YouTube. I've found it. And it's literally just one of the first platformers. You're this kind of potato-looking dude with a nose and a couple of legs, and you're jumping around trying to get to the end. You can beat the game in like 5 minutes tops, and it's just one of the most addicting and frustrating things I've ever played. After that, it was literally I played the first game called Rogue, and it was awesome. If you've never played Rogue, you've heard the term roguelike. It's literally a procedurally generated RPG. You go down, death is permanent, you create a new character every time, and try to beat your previous dungeon score by going down further and further in the dungeons.
I mean, that's a genre creator right there.
Absolutely.
So you said your dad owned a Commodore 64 and an IBM. So what'd your parents do?
My dad worked for the Department of Defense, and my mom, until she retired, was a registered nurse. When I was still growing up, she worked in the ER, and my dad basically took care of me while he was out of work. He eventually worked for the Department of Defense, and then that's where I got my love of games, is because I was around 12 years old and we brought that stuff home. And he retired from the Department of Defense probably 10 years ago. My mom retired like 15 years ago.
Do you have any siblings?
I don't like talking about her, but yeah. I
So I bet you probably didn't play games together.
Kind of a mark here for coin sound effect if you don't like the word cunt, but she is.
No, we're good with that one. No, we're good with that one.
So let's just talk about her a whole lot more.
That's fine. I just don't like her.
No, so I assume you naturally didn't play games together or have any sort of two-player experiences when it came to gaming. Or is this why she's a huge cunt?
Awesome. It didn't. When she became an adult is when she turned cunty.
Oh, okay.
You want to get dark? We'll get dark.
Hey man, that's up to you.
I mean, we did talk about the interstate picnic earlier.
Yeah,
that's a move we call the old interstate picnic.
We can get dark real fucking quick, man. Suffice to say, she did some nasty shit and then left my parents, basically stopped communicating with the family for the last 10, 12 years or so.
I've got a question for you, Paul, that kind of relates to, I guess, directly to what you said about the Commodore 64 games. Of course, you stream gameplay of a lot of different things. You do the TADPOG Saturdays, where you're playing N64 games that we're talking about. Have
Sorry
you ever?
about that.
Yeah.
Me too, but whatever.
Have you ever thought about doing Snooki or Rogue?
Honestly, the trouble with those is, while yes, they are absolutely 100% abandonware, you can do that whenever you want. It's finding them, and I know that there's now a website that you can take a look for. I can't remember what the website is, but you can stream old games, like the Apple II website. You can actually stream old Apple II games
Directly from the site?
directly on the website, as
Cool.
long as you have the correct plugin, and it's like a Google Chrome. Excuse me, belches. A Google Chrome plugin that you can plug in, and it's just literally you can play old Apple II games. Like I was playing Karateka earlier today.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm
And
going to have
yeah,
to check that
I've
out.
thought about it.
So Ink is probably on there too. Not that I would recommend it, but Ink is probably on there. That's also abandoned.
Fair enough.
So to everybody, because you play all these different games for people to watch, so I feel like we probably don't know exactly what your personal gaming tastes are. So I'll ask you what I ask everybody, your top 5 favorite games. Series count. So you don't have to
man.
name Final Fantasy 2, 3, 7, and 9. But yeah, as series count, unless you want to be that specific. But yeah, your top 5.
Well, obviously the Final Fantasy series has a lot of influence on me, and honestly, I've been racking my brain for the last 4 or 5 hours since I started prepping for the episode, and I can't. It's always so difficult because it always changes. I find a new game that I get really passionate about, and then all of a sudden I'm on something else. The Fallout series has to be on there. Obviously, the Final Fantasy series. I'm a huge RPG nut. What else, man? I've I've got a deep love of the Resident Evil series, except for 5 was just an abortion. 6 kind of saved it, but the Resident Evil series is definitely on there. I'm actually literally looking at my wall and picking up stuff that I can think of that's been really awesome for me. Far Cry 3 is probably if not the top 5, at least the top 10.
It's a good game. I played that one, yeah.
It's awesome. If you haven't played it, I've got a full playthrough. I didn't do it on purpose to plug the website. I literally saw it on the shelf there. What else we got? That's really all I can think of right now. It has to stand out on its own. Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lion, specifically War of the Lion,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
that particular spin where everything got much bigger. If you haven't played it, it's only on PSP or PS Vita. You can't play it on PS3 or PS1. Pick it up. It's absolutely worth it. If you don't have a PS Vita, it is worth it for that. And it's only $10 in the PS Vita store.
Yeah, I love my Vita. I picked that up and played it on PSP. I beat it pretty quickly. I enjoyed it better than the PlayStation version, with one complaint. The thing I love about Final Fantasy Tactics was, like, Josh and I would plan, our party around this, and we strategize. We spend the whole night on this one battle, to where the only way you can get Genji equipment is stealing it off a boss.
Right.
Yeah.
But they took that out of the War of the Lions. It made me very sad.
Yeah, that was my angry moment too.
See, I was the opposite because I was like, "Oh, cool! Don't have to worry about that. I could just fight. I don't have to like."
Because it's a hard battle anyway.
God, yeah,
It is.
yeah.
And not only is it a hard battle, but to pile on the Genji equipment on top of that, it's just a nightmarish scenario. I actually lost my PS Vita to that battle alone.
You destroyed it.
Yep. I rage quit that game really hard.
Oh, cool.
Because that battle and the battle against Wheatgrass, where you're just Ramza, or like,
Yep.
God, those two fucking battles, like, stand head and toe above challenge rating, above everything else in the game.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a solid mix of pretty much everything.
I love just about every game that comes across my desk. Even the shitty games, I have a small love for them because they make me appreciate the really good games more.
Okay, so what are some games you absolutely loathe, mainstream and other?
Can I make a suggestion? Just because, Paul, I feel like I know you to a certain degree. And if Blood Bowl isn't on this list, then I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
And Wario's Woods.
Oh my god, I still have the behind the paywall episode I need to show you guys. Definitely both of those games. Actually, the first game that came to mind was Wario's Woods, because that fucking goddamn piece of shit game. Apologize to Blake and Meg for taking the Lord's name in vain, because
Not
that's
Wiley,
how
though.
fucking angry that makes me.
You can suck it, Wiley.
I'm sorry, Wiley. I didn't disinclude you. I love you, dude.
Not Tim Bear from that one episode, also a priest. Steve can fucking suck it too.
Who else
Too many
was
damn
priest?
priests. We've had 4 priests on this show.
I think that's the new Netflix original, right? Too many
I don't
damn
know the
priests.
last one, but fuck 'em. Oh gosh.
So wait, what's your problem with Wario's Woods? Let's talk about Wario's Woods for just a second.
No, let's not. I'll seriously just fucking rage quit this episode. That's how angry that fucking game makes me.
We've never had someone do that, so that would be a 10.
I don't want to. I love this. I love you guys, and I don't want to fucking leave. But holy shit, that game will make me leave. I fucking hate it so fucking much.
All right.
We wouldn't like it either.
Yeah,
It's
not
okay.
a great game. Here's my thing. I know we did an episode on that. Don't remember it at all. I don't remember it
hardly
like
do,
at
so.
all.
Kirby's Dream Course was kind of shitty, but not really.
Whoa.
Now John Sullivan just rage quit.
Yeah, thanks, man.
He liked that game.
Oh,
yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, one of his
Loved
favorites.
That's why I don't have an iOS and can't download your game. You guys really should, though. It's a pretty cool game. I've played it. That is Mario Italiano. Please go download it. Tyler and Dave are in it.
We are in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I haven't had anybody screenshot us them with our card yet. So I've got all these Mario Galaxy coins still just sitting over here, appreciating in value dramatically.
Every
I
day
want to
it
go
goes
and
by.
play it, but I don't have any iOS devices.
Yeah. Well, Paul, I remember a few months ago you had talked about being invited to like an orgy.
You know what?
That was nice because his Skype is pulled up on video right now at his face. This is pretty good.
Like, oh shit,
good.
I forgot about that. Well,
I mean, if you had gone, that'd be a different story. I might have asked about it, but you were just invited to
Are you
one.
kidding? If he went, I would want to ask more. Like, how many dicks were there?
that's an open invite, so that might still happen.
Got this 24/7 orgy just going on. Just jump in.
OrgyCon.
Well, it's not 24/7, but they're in an open relationship, and that was definitely a thing that could happen, might happen, probably will happen. Now you mention it.
Report back.
I approve. Because I didn't know if it was like a
I could do an
Seinfeld
episode
thing.
on if you want me to.
An episode once Paul played a day. Some
You'll
chick's
check
pussy and a guy's dick. Sorry, Taryn. Some girl's boon.
And that came out her face.
Because I didn't know if it, like, you didn't go because it was a Seinfeld situation where you're like, then I'd have to get orgy friends and wear orgy clothes, get like an orgy walk.
Actually, what had happened was I started briefly dating someone that I had known from Imgur.
Orgy school.
Not the orgy, no. It literally happened at the same time where we started, clicking and connecting and wanting to, meet each other. So I just never went to my friend's orgy party. I don't know how else to say that.
I like the picture you showing up at the door with like 4 pizzas. Here for the orgy party?
All of them
I didn't
on
know
my
if I
dick.
needed to bring anything.
I brought it out of sausage.
I think everybody would like get all pizza greasy. Like we just eat,
Oh.
we just eat a bunch of Papa John's and just wallow around the floor together.
I guess it'd be better than the ham orgy.
We'll get out like the pizza sweats and just see what pops in where and pops out of where. Everybody breathes like Blake.
God. I threw up my mouth a little bit.
That would be really cool, though, right? If you showed up at an orgy and Blake was there.
And is
You know
more
what?
excited
I
about
just
your
have more
pizzas.
questions than anything. I don't think I'd be disgusted, just really concerned. Like, how?
I'm just here to eat the pizza in the corner and watch.
Yeah, but Blake's just like, oh, there's gonna be pizza, man.
Don't mind the light in my shirt. It's not a video camera.
But Blake, honestly, Blake has lost a ton of weight. So I'm interested to see if he'll eat a pizza and see if it changes breathing. If he still has the James Gandolfini thing going on.
That doesn't change a man's love for pizza. Like losing weight does not, because like I've been at several different weight points. There's been peaks and valleys, but consistently throughout that was my love of pizza.
Mm-hmm. You can lose weight on it's called a dirty cut. We lose weight just eating pizza.
That's a thing, and that works.
A guy
Certain thing, but
on
yes.
Reddit about he was a weightlifter, and so he was able to gain muscle and lose weight, and all he ate was pizza and drank chocolate milk.
It's dirty cutting or dirty bulking, depending on what you're doing.
And he said he felt terrible the whole time, but it worked.
Well, look at what happened with God, which Chris is that? It's the Chris Hemsworth. He literally dirty bulked his way to looking like that in Thor because he was talking about how much just garbage he had to eat throughout the entire the weight gaining process. And he literally ate like 2 or 3 pizzas a day, if I recall correctly.
Did he think he was a Ninja Turtle, or
Oh no, he just fucking hated himself the entire time. He's like, I hate everything about this, and I hope I never have to do it again. And of course, there's Thor 2, Avengers, so he probably hated himself a lot.
I like to think Michelangelo was
I
his
hate
personal
this
trainer.
so much, and he just looks at his millions and millions
Right.
of dollars.
I hate this so much as I'm sitting here in my mansion rubbing myself with money.
All these girls want to have sex with me. I have to eat all this pizza, and I'm making these millions and millions of dollars. But I imagine Chris Evans is probably even worse, like Captain America, because you see him in like the rom-coms, and when he was Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four, like the sheer amount of muscle he had to put on.
See, Fantastic Four, he wasn't that big. He didn't need to be. But for Captain America, he like doubled in size
Yeah.
between that and what did he do before that? Just some rom-com bullshit.
Yeah, like where he would like sleep with a girl, and the next person they dated got married, or something like that. Something.
He was in Scott Pilgrim too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
the actor X.
Which was really funny
good.
considering.
Yeah. Oh, who else was I going to mention in that regard? Oh, well.
Shrug.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. I don't think that. I mean, it doesn't sound like super appealing because you have to lift weights. So, like, I was on board, and then you were like, "Yeah, and you got to lift." I'm like, "Okay, never mind."
Never mind.
Could do body weight exercises, but that's even fucking harder.
Yeah, I'd rather just... Yeah, no thank you.
I think I'd rather just be a fat dude. I guess. I mean, like, as long as like when I go to the doctor, he's like, you're not like in immediate danger. Like, okay.
Okay, let me know when I am.
Right.
I'll see you in 3 years.
See, up until I got sick, I was doing this Punisher body weight workout, and I'd actually dropped 7 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because you've lost a shit ton of weight, too.
Yeah, I actually went from... I bulked back up since I came back to Cleveland, but when I moved to Virginia, I was really just fucking depressed and had gained up to 250 pounds. And I was just a fucking fat girl, to just say the least. I don't know if you guys catch that reference, but I don't give a shit, really.
I do not.
I was thinking about your enormous vagina.
It's
You were
fucking
so
huge,
big,
man.
your dick had invert into a vagina.
Up until my chest. I mean, if I lifted my shirt, it'd just be vagina and be like it's got teeth and everything. There's hair everywhere. It's really disgusting.
You're like Asmodan.
It's like a Brillo pad exploded. Anyway, there was nothing to do in Richmond. Like I remember there was either go out to eat every night forever, and I didn't want to do that because that was how I got in this predicament in the first place. So that, drink, or work out. And I chose work out and dropped 40 pounds in the 7 months that I was there.
Fucking A.
That's good. I usually just starve myself. That's pretty much my like thing. So I lose it pretty quick, but then I gain it back pretty quick. Then I'm like, hey, I'm done being miserable.
See, I have to do like punishing amounts of exercise if I want to lose weight. I have to. That's the only way my body responds.
See, that's the thing. It's all about diet and exercise. People always bitch about, oh, there's this fad diet. You only have to do this, or this. Just fucking eat right and work out,
Drives
and
me
you'll
crazy.
be fine.
And
Shut
I
the
hate
fuck up and quit
detoxes.
whining.
Oh, I hate juice cleanses and detoxes and all that shit.
Oh
I
my
hate
god, my asshole can't handle that.
At least just be honest and be like, I don't want to do that.
That's fair. I mean, I don't want to do that either. I'd rather just eat right and just go jump on the treadmill and be a hamster for an hour and a half.
Because I remember I was about the opposite of what, the stars who eat pizza and bulk up, the opposite being Christian Bale in The Machinist, where he was
Who
like,
just starved.
I'm having apple today. And he'd have to make a list of like, let's see, if I've got 10 units of energy, I guess I can do this and this today before I have to just sit here and be hungry.
Yeah.
I'll have an apple.
And then
Okay.
there's the contrast to that, because the very next film that he got was Batman Begins.
Yeah.
It just got huge and ripped, and it was just, I bet he was like really like a happier and a pig in shit because he got to eat again.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think I'd rather have the apple diet. Because it's like, okay, I have an excuse to not really do a whole lot. I could just kind of sit here and like play all the games I want to because that does not expend much energy. Oh, it's apple time. Look at that. Eat my apple.
You and Henry have some apple slices. There you go.
I'm weaker than him.
Your whole day's planned out for you. It's 2 o'clock. It's apple time.
I'm not going to lie. That sounds like the dream right there.
Tyler and Dave and Paul talk about nutrition. This is fucking weird.
Yep.
Especially because I am completely unqualified.
Yeah, but like, I guess Steve Jobs basically wore the same thing every day just so he had to make like less decisions.
Yeah.
And I assume if you could get away with that, Dave, you probably would. Just like
I thought about it.
turtleneck pants, it's fine.
I probably wouldn't do the turtleneck.
I bet I've never. I think I've only seen you in a turtleneck once, and that was your ugly sweater.
Photo shoot at work.
Sweater.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All time I've seen you in a turtleneck.
I used to wear.
Other than when you jerk on people's windows, you always wear a turtleneck for that.
I do always. You're right. That is my thing.
These tactical turtleneck
Very
archer
concerned
style.
right now. Because I was wondering why there's semen stains on my window. How the hell did you get to Ohio?
Well, it's all about edging. It's all about edging.
Yeah. How'd you discover masturbation, Paul?
Well, that's...
I know it's a good question when Tyler looks at the Skype call.
But no, it's not just that. It's just that I can't fucking remember because I've been doing it for so goddamn long. I'm doing it right now. No,
Yeah, me too. It's cool.
like, I'm not even wearing pants. Like, no joke.
I usually get
A really
started.
long shirt, so you don't see my dick. I'm honestly don't remember because when I was growing up, up in Pine Coffer, I didn't really have a room. I had kind of a hallway, So I didn't really have the privacy until I was about 13 when my parents hired my uncle to literally knock out a wall and put a fucking bedroom in there, which was pretty much about as big as a walk-in closet. That's when I discovered hardcore masturbation. When I had a door.
Okay. Because I remember I started off masturbating skeptically, like it was funny, and because it didn't do anything.
Oh, no, I was fucking whole hogging that shit as soon as I figured it out.
All right. What, when's the first time you kissed a girl?
That's a damn good question.
You've kissed a girl, right?
Or a boy, whichever.
No, it was a
no
girl.
judgment.
I've never actually kissed a boy. Like on the cheek or anything. Just for a game.
Homophobe. I insist when we meet, you have to kiss me
Sometimes
to prove you're not homophobic.
Sometimes when I lose a match in Street Fighter, the message is, "You boy kisser."
That's fine. I don't give a shit. I'm comfortable in masculinity. I mean, if it gets my dick twitching, all right, whatever. Anyway, let me. I can't. Probably about when I was 16 when I had my first girlfriend. Also, when I lost my virginity.
Okay.
Same time, like the kiss and the virginity happened at the same time, or
Yep.
cool.
That's pretty good.
No, she sounds
She
like
sounds pretty awesome.
she sounds. Yeah, I was about to say she
Pretty
sounds.
awesome. She gave me my first blowjob right after she kissed me. Not before.
Hey,
that's fine.
yeah, I love that Tyler and I looked up at each
we
other.
raised up opposite one hand to each on opposite side, like, whoa.
We did the Patty Duke mirror thing. Like, oh, sounds okay to me. Thanks for the blowjob. Mwah.
Every rose has its thorn. Oh.
I've tasted it before. I don't give a shit.
So what prompted you to want to start What Paul's Playing Today?
Mostly boredom. And honestly, when I was... shit, I've been doing this for about 3 years, ever since July 7th, I believe. Yeah, I started in 2012. No, that's 2 years. I started in 2013. I was actually just boredom. I one day saw that people were making a lot of money at it, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. Started out doing that, and it was really fun. I mean, I actually started watching Twitch for that kind of thing, and watching a friend of mine, Kevin, on the Retro Run. I started watching him, and I was like, at the time he wasn't a friend, and I actually met him the same way I met you guys was through your podcast, and I met him through his show. And I started doing that afterwards, and I was like, because I'm a good Catholic boy, or was raised Catholic, I felt really guilty when I started. I was like, oh my God, I'm stealing his shtick. I better apologize to him, because I don't fucking know why. So I started talking to him. I was like, I'm so sorry. We're talking shit.
I was going to say,
"Okay."
Dave
Like, yeah,
understands.
it's no problem, man. Just keep going. I was like, all right, cool. You want to play games on Steam? I was like, yeah, sure. So we've been friends ever since.
So I didn't know if it was a thing of like you watched a lot of videos and you were like, I can do that. I can probably do that better. Or there's a gap of games that no one's like covering that you want to do, or...
It just started just like that. I just got fucking bored one day, started trolling the world, trolling them their internets, and saw Kevin's show, and was like, oh, this is pretty fun. He's having a lot of fun with his friends. I don't have friends that I play games with, but fuck it, I'll just start this shit.
Does he still stream?
People either do orgies or they play video games. There's not that Venn diagram. Those two circles do not touch.
Eventually, they will.
Does he still stream? Or
When he
Has he
can.
stopped?
He's been having a few health issues lately, but when he can, he's been doing a lot of streaming. It's twitch.tv/Mr. Ugly. If you want to check out his stuff, it's really good. It's funny stuff. He's got a lot of good friends that he plays games with.
We'll put that in the
his
show
Payday
notes.
recently.
is there? I'm glad Twitch came up because, of course, you host What's Paul Playing Today, and you mentioned Kevin. Are there any other streamers that you regularly follow on Twitch? Like, can you give me any recommendations?
Surprisingly, aside from our own Lord Micah Purdue, he actually does streaming as well. His is Micah Purdue _14, I believe. I'd have to look that up, and I'm kind of curious. Apologies for this, because I actually want to make sure that I got it right.
Nah, he'll be okay. He'll be okay.
He'll call in and we'll play it 3 months from now.
Yeah.
We're really good
Eventually.
about going back and fixing stuff.
We're also really good about getting out the second part of the D&D game, which I got a Twitch message from about the other day, and I was like, "Oh right, that. Yep."
I still.
Well,
wanna hear
somebody
that, 'cause that was
cares,
fucking
so now I'm
funny
a
as
little more
shit.
motivated to finish it.
That's consider that a request right now.
So-
But that's about all the people I follow. It's just really, I mean, I do my own show, What's Paul Playing Today. Kevin does his retro run, where he will actually, more power to him, but he and his friends will do the 24-hour Extra Life stream, and that stuff's awesome. Have you guys heard of Extra Life?
I'm unfamiliar.
I have heard of it, but pretty much in passing.
Well, Extra Life is generally in November. It's a 24-hour marathon where it's, you know, the old telethons or the old like walkathons you used to do as a kid, where you'd raise X amount of dollars for doing X amount of miles.
Yeah.
Very similar. So if you go the full 24 hours, people donate X amount of dollars per hour, and if all that money goes to a local children's hospital, and they're very. I really I donated last year $1 per hour for the retro run, and I highly recommend anybody else to take a look at it. It's really good stuff, and Kevin and his friends just do a lot of funny stuff on it.
I feel like that's a great excuse for me to play Heroes of the Storm for 24 hours. I'll do that.
It really is.
That way no one can give me any shit about it.
Tell your boss it's for a good cause.
Yeah, it's great. No, look, I'm raising money. I'm going to raise at least $24
It
for
occurs
Extra
weekends,
Life.
so you don't have to worry about that. It's Saturday over to Sunday.
Well, now I'm a little less invested. I was hoping I could miss some work, but okay, I'm still in.
It's a really good cause, and I think they raised over like $300 for their local children's hospital last year.
Awesome.
So where do you want to go next with What's Paul Playing Today?
Actually, I want to start doing legitimate game reviews, not just the gameplay videos and the full Let's Plays. I'm starting to learn some editing software. I started using TechSmith's Camtasia. I'm going to get a legitimate copy fairly soon. It's pretty expensive, unfortunately, but I can probably spitball it and write it off as a business expense should this actually start making money.
What is that?
Camtasia is a video editing software similar to Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
And I just want to start, putting together actual game reviews, not just, full Let's Plays or just really not just doing TADPOG. We're actually giving you guys some real editing. And like, I remember I was talking with Nicole Nance when what was the video that she was on for? What was the more recent one that she was on for?
She was just on for Paper Mario.
It was the one prior to that, because I actually haven't listened to Paper Mario yet.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie, that's the one. She was like, because I remember she was super high on it, and I was like, she's like, I wish you played more. I'm like, that's the problem with it. I was like, I'm in the same bind that Tyler and Dave are, in that I can't really play more than a few hours, and then there's the whole editing thing. I'd love to do it, but there's only so much you can do with a week's time.
I just want to say this for Nicole's sake. She wasn't super high on the episode. She was positive about Banjo-Kazooie. I don't want to get a text message from Nicole tomorrow saying, did anyone say I was high on the episode?
She was super high on the game itself, not on the drugs.
The only
The
happy
drugs.
altered state Nicole I've ever seen is really drunk Nicole.
And I've never
Why?
seen Nicole drunk, so I don't know what that's like.
You
Oh,
haven't
man.
lived.
Yeah, give Nicole a bottle of strawberry Arbor Mist, like the big bottle. Pull up a seat, get some popcorn, and watch the show. It's good.
I will say the next vacation I plan on coming down to Paducah, if that's all right.
Fuck yeah! If you love quilts, fucking come on down.
We've got a
fun
great
quilts.
museum, yeah.
Quilts.
Do you like big obstructing walls blocking your view of the river? We've got that too. But don't worry, we painted shit on those walls. So you can look at that instead of the river.
Works for me.
You can come to the weird Wendy's.
Yeah, that is true.
We'll
Actually, that
plan
was
out your
one of the
whole
reasons that I wanted to come.
schedule for you.
That we got to go to the Ryans.
Old houses
Can we go
where
to
you used to
Taco John's?
live. You go to
Taco John's, yes. I'll even bring you to the one that John Turley worked at.
Perfect.
That old Path in the Woods where I got that blowjob where the four-wheeler drivers rode up on me and started laughing.
What about the Blissful Cabin? The
We
no
can-
longer derogatorily named cabin.
We go to McQueen's cabin. That's actually a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, that is. We exclusively want to do shitty things on this tour.
I have swords. I can bring them.
Perfect.
There you
Brings
go.
a sword.
Perfect.
What are some other questions I usually ask? Because I said what games you like, what games you hate.
I guess we're
How much
done.
is this game on Amazon?
Paul, how much would you be on Amazon, new and used?
Used like $5 maybe.
That's a good
new,
deal.
I haven't been.
I'll
new in
buy
years.
used Paul for $5.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
We could take some calls.
Yeah, we can do that if you want
take
to.
some calls?
I'm in. I love calls. Maybe
got a
it'll
lot
actually get
of
to my
them.
text message.
Because I know
Probably
I started my clock late, and so I have 42 minutes in. So
I got an hour and 8 minutes on this, but we started like 20 minutes in.
it's about call time. About call time.
We got a lot of them anyway.
Unless you want me to question you about your dick size and
You can if you want.
other stuff. Just sort of like you've ordered the equipment. You can just sort of cam show of you just jerking off.
Have you ever thought about doing that?
It would break the terms of service of Twitch.
No, I mean,
unfortunately.
obviously, you have to do it
not
somewhere
on
else.
Twitch. you go on
I never
StreamMate.
thought about masturbating for money.
Someone asked me that when I was 18 years old. A guy I worked with who was gay was like, which is like looking back at it, it's like, oh, he just wanted to watch me jerk off. But like, he was like, hey man, you can make a lot of money jerking off on a camera. I was like, what? Really? He's like, yeah, if you want to do it, I can set you up. It's like, I don't know.
It's just you standing in a bathroom stall, jerking off in front of him while he sits in the toilet. And you've got a stopwatch and a tip cup. And every minute he has to put $1 in the jar.
And every 5 minutes he throws marshmallows at you. I don't know why.
It sounds okay. It sounds like, at least I'm being appreciated.
Because I enjoy the cam girls. And they're not as popular, but they have cam couples. And I assure you, like, man, any halfway decent looking guy is gonna make money, because most of the time, like, hot girl, it's almost like a 90s sitcom where
Really?
you've got a super hot girl and then somebody that looks like Kevin James.
I didn't think that was how.
Yeah.
Then these must not be real. These cams must not be real. That's not how real life works.
It's mostly looking like Ron Jeremy without the penis.
There you go.
But extra mustache.
No, the mustache is gone. Just extra body hair.
It migrated
Not
south.
fucking her, really.
All right, we've got, I don't know, like 50 some odd messages to get through. I feel like we can probably
Sweet Jesus.
get through all
I will
those
say
today.
I've never actually thought about masturbating on camera. So just pointing that out there.
just-
I have thought
it's
about
an
doing it
idea.
for voice acting though.
We do know a few voice actors for video games, strangely enough.
I'm not surprised. I know someone who works at Fox
There you
on
go.
Family Guy.
Really?
Yeah, not that well.
Seth MacFarlane.
I don't know. You guys heard of him?
I don't know. I don't know him. I know someone who's like a creative director over there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Does he want to be on the show?
I could ask her.
Yeah, her. Let's get you and her on there. And on here, rather. On that show, the TADPOG.
On Family Guy. Fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Let's see. The first text message we got is from 515, who says, "Hey Tadpog, this is gonna be a dark one. What 5 achievements would you set for your lives?" All right. So these are things that we need to achieve in the future, or can it be things that we've already achieved, or what's the ground rules?
So I'm about to say marriage and baby would have been 2, I would think.
Maybe it could be.
It's got to be a mix, though. I mean, stuff you've already achieved, because I know there's stuff you're proud of. Like Tyler said, you're married and you got a kid. That's pretty proud stuff. Probably something that you want to shoot for.
Had sex would have been 1.
Oh yeah.
Lost virginity.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Had sex is one of the achievements.
Made it to 50.
Halfway there. That's
Halfway there. There you go.
Nice. $1 million dream.
Oh,
you could
Jesus.
make $1 million.
No, that's not even on my list. That's not a
It's going to happen
possibility.
eventually. It happened to my
Only-
dad, and he
only
was
if,
making not much.
My parents and my brother all died in the same car accident, and I'm the only one left. Would I ever make any amount of that much money?
That's pretty. That's pretty good. So
I'm not saying all at once. I'm saying over a lifetime.
so at no point do we actually have to have $1 million.
$1 million. Just,
Exactly, like cumulative.
we have
I've
to have
made
spent
$1
$1
million
million.
I still don't think that I could do that, but I'm not gonna. No, I can't do it. No monetary achievements for me.
That's fair.
See, I would totally be in an orgy, so that might be an achievement.
Okay.
That's going to be my achievement eventually. No.
What's the name of that achievement?
Fuck Palooza? I don't know.
Be quiet, Meg. This is happening.
Oh my God, why is there a dick in my ass? Oh, what was that?
How do you spell that?
Is that a dick? Oh, well, I guess I unlocked an achievement.
Still an orgy.
That would actually be no longer vacuum sealed. Freshness seal is broken. I don't know.
Yeah, it does make the sound like when you open a package of crescent rolls.
Drinking coffee. I almost put on a monitor. Mine would probably be Game Dev Tycoon because I definitely want to make a game. And recently, I actually sent both you guys the high concept document for my next project.
It looks good.
It's on my desktop.
It looks
Eventually,
good.
I'll read it. You know,
You should do it. You should do this thing.
I'm going to. I'm going to start on the. I actually have already started on the GDC.
Awesome. Keep us up to date on how that's going.
You're going to be in it.
Even better.
Yeah.
I guess that's an achievement, right? To be in
You've already
games.
achieved that.
We got that one.
Well, I mean, we gotta set the bar up a little higher. Like we gotta be in like 100 games.
Or not fused together into one monster.
No, I like that.
Well, I've been telling Dave that the idea was to actually have you guys in as a cameo because the game's going to be set in like kind of a medieval fantasy type world, and just have you guys like kind of Bill and Ted into it, and just sit there like, Dave, where the fuck are we? I don't know. You think they have Taco John's?
Burrito
Or
Beats.
a Taco Bob's or something like that.
So we're done with achievements. I feel like we've
That's pretty good.
almost sufficiently answered that
good.
question. That was a good.
Close enough. That's the achievement. We just achieved it.
All right, we got another text. This is from 313 who says, "Dear Tadpog, what is something that you have jerk it Jeffed to that you wait a minute. What is something that you have jerk it Jeffed to that you had immediate comer's remorse? Urban Dictionary to after.
People McNugget porn.
People, what's that? What?
People McNugget porn.
Did you say McNugget? People McNugget porn?
Yeah, people always call them little people, but I call them people McNuggets.
Oh.
I'm not sorry.
You have remorse over that?
A little bit, because it was kind of creepy and they peed on her.
I got an answer. Pretty much anytime I do it to e-fucked.
Ooh.
It was on E-Fucked, actually.
Yeah, pretty much anytime that happens. Pretty much immediately afterwards, it's like, I guess I unlocked that achievement.
Yeah. The dirtiest of shames.
After I got in trouble for masturbating to porn when I was younger, for a long time, each subsequent masturbation, as soon as I was done, would have like a guilt shower of like, oh man,
Oh, yeah.
I've got to quit, I've got to stop.
I've got a real problem.
Yeah.
That's the achievement name. I've got another one for it, too. Guilt shower and a low-down dirty shame.
The siren's call of the archives for Playboy.com. Couldn't stay away. Sublime Directory, you got me. You got me, Sublime Directory.
It
Good question.
was a good question.
All right. Let's see. We've got a voicemail here. This is from a local. 270. Might be Taryn. We'll see.
God, I hope it's Taryn.
Motherfucking Tadpog.
It's Taryn.
Hello.
Sweet.
This is Taryn. What is it? Princess Pencil Banana Hammock. Yes. That's a mouthful, guys. So I am working through and getting through my first tropical storm. It was a big letdown, but no crazy winds or anything like that, just rain. I was ready. Got my supplies. I was ready to go. But anyway, I really enjoyed the Beetlejuice episode, whether or not you guys enjoyed the game, and mainly because I had not a horny thing for Beetlejuice, but I loved Beetlejuice as a kid, and I still love it today. And it brought up a question in my mind because one of my favorite Halloween costumes that I ever had was I had the full Beetlejuice suit, the stripes, and I had a Beetlejuice mask, and it had a little button that you put down your sleeve, and when you press the button, his head came open, and the crazy snakes and worms went everywhere, and it was my most favorite Halloween costume that I had.
That sounds pretty badass.
My second favorite was probably Alf. I had a full bodysuit Alf outfit, and then I don't know, I dressed up as a bunch of stuff. I'm an only child. I had a big imagination. But anyway, I was wondering, what was your favorite Halloween costume when you were little or when you're an adult?
I guess that's it. It cut off.
Yeah, it's around 3 minutes.
She needs to reboot the Alf and go as Slutty Alf now for Halloween.
That's concerning.
I got a question.
He does eat pussy.
Did I hear this correctly? At some point in the call she said that she had a thing for Beetlejuice, not a horny thing?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
That seems like a really weird qualifier to throw. So it's definitely a horny thing.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. I mean, she wanted to fuck Michael Keaton.
Because I've never guys, you know what I really like? Pizza, but not in a horny way.
Like you're fucking a pizza.
Naturally one thinks about being horny for pizza. So I just want to clarify.
Yes, of course.
Oh, my favorite Halloween costume. My Ghostbusters outfit. I had the full Ghostbusters onesie, brown with, I think I had Venkman was stitched onto it, and I had the proton pack and the toy that you threw out and I had to stomp really hard, and
Oh, yeah.
it wouldn't really
The trap
open.
kind of
Yeah.
half open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I'm with you.
I was so sad when I grew out of that. Man.
Do you have it still?
No.
She put River in it. My favorite was the one I wore last year, which was a banana.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty good.
How
that's
big
it.
was the banana?
What's that?
How big was the banana?
Oh, Paul, you know.
I had to make sure. Because now I'm jacking a little harder.
I'm about to pull that out for the stinger and loop it 9 or 10 times. Jerk a little
Perfect.
harder.
Do it.
Jerk a little harder. Jerk a little harder.
Do it.
Combined with Nicole's, jerk a little harder.
She was not happy. With
Yeah.
that one.
Or
She didn't speak to us for 3 or 4 days after that
She was
episode
not
came
happy with that
out.
one.
I'd say mine was the Hanging Man. About 5 years ago, we actually rigged a harness to the overhanging, the overhanging arch in front of the front door, and I had a noose up there, and I was just playing as the Hanging Man. It was great. Scared the shit out of a bunch of kids. I think I gave one a heart attack.
I remember. I'm glad you sparked a memory, Paul. So I'm glad you said that. I remember the first time I watched The Goonies. My mom was watching it with me, and there's that scene at the opening where the Fratellis are busting out of that the town jail.
Yep.
And in order to do it, he's got himself rigged up like he's hung himself.
Yep.
I remember very clearly watching that with my mom, and she looked at me and she was like, "Never do that, because you might accidentally kill yourself." Every time I watch The Goonies now, I almost I want to call her and be like, "Don't worry, Mom. I never rigged up an elaborate ruse where it looks like I'm hanging because I took your advice to heart."
Now you could do it and
oh no,
and jerk off.
Oh, no.
Have safety. I'll be in the room reading a magazine.
quote unquote, reading a magazine. Don't worry, Dave. I'm just here to spot you.
I've got the eyes cut out of the front cover. Tip jar.
Tyler
He was right. He was right. You're gonna make so much money.
Marshmallows. All right. Thanks for the call, Taryn. It's always good to hear from you, even if you are or are not horny for Beetlejuice. I don't know.
Please make sure you are horny for Beetlejuice, though, please.
It's okay if you are. As long as you feel a little bit of remorse after.
All right. Here's
can't.
kind of I guess it's not a regretful recall, but it's a shameful thing I remember doing a lot as a kid. In that I'm detached from all tropical storms and hurricanes and things like that. So I remember when I'd hear, of course, about the next biggest hurricane to hit Florida, and I would hear 7,000 people have died. I'd be like, that's a shitty hurricane. And then I remember when I was little, Hurricane Hugo kills 20,000 people. All right, that's a pretty good hurricane.
Now that's a
All right,
hurricane.
that's a pretty good hurricane. 2,000 people died. I don't even report that if it's only 2,000 deaths.
I get a little jaded about hurricanes too because at one point in my life we lived in Florida, in another part I lived in Louisiana, so we had a lot of hurricanes. I've been through 3 hurricanes, and they were all like pretty much like how Taryn's saying the tropical storm was. Like, I mean, it was windy and it was rainy, but it wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
So every time there'd be a hurricane, it was just like, yeah, whatever, hurricane. We'll just stay inside.
Yep.
So I don't know. There's nothing like that here in Kentucky. It's actually, I think the weather here is worse because it'll be like really hot and humid in the summers, like unbearably so, and then in the winter it's just a little bit of snow that no one knows how to deal with.
Yep, exactly right. Well, like going to visit like Blake and Tim in Oklahoma, because they all have like these elaborate storm cellars.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember Tim in his garage, he has like this huge thick iron door into steps down like this concrete room, because like they all just have that, because it's just like fucking all right, tornado. All right, everybody in the safe room.
I want a vault.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty
No
cool.
shit.
Like if you got electricity running down there, like that'd be a perfect place to, like, I don't know, record a podcast.
Sort of what I have over here.
Yeah. It's just yours is above
Sound
ground.
dampening
Yeah.
shit. It'll be fun.
Take what you've got and lower it 20 feet.
That way there's
Yeah,
no
actually,
sunlight
lived in
and it
Florida,
stays
too.
cold.
I actually, when I was younger, I was working overnight shifts at the local gas station, and I actually slept through like 3 or 4 hurricanes.
I guess I'd ask you, Paul, also, and ask you what you do for a living.
I'm a quality assurance engineer. I basically make a lot of money doing very little work.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
That's not true. I do a lot of work, but there's fits and spurts of very frantic amount of work, and then very little work, and then more frantic work. But I do make a decent amount of money. I make a good living.
So you'll unlock that $1 million achievement way before we do.
I'm hoping to hit the lottery.
So there we go. There we go, ladies. He will talk about his dick if we ask him, so he's not ashamed of that. He's been invited to orgies, and he makes a pretty good amount of money for not doing very much work.
And he thinks it's okay if you're horny for Beetlejuice too. So, and
I am.
people make nuggets? Question mark.
That's super cringe. I'm kind of sad I said that.
Don't worry, it's
some
a,
little person's gonna come and kick me and just punch me right in the balls because they're at eye level at that point.
don't worry, it's a show note.
Using my nuts for a speed bag.
We have a very large little people contingent, so they're going to come after you.
We do actually.
Oh man, that's disgusting and sad. I feel awful about myself. Jacob's gonna fucking hate me for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe a little bit.
Don't
That's
worry,
all right.
I've already tweeted Peter Dinklage. You're gonna be fine.
You know what? You know what? Fuck Peter Dinklage for phoning it in for Destiny.
I haven't played it, but I've heard other people say pretty much that same thing, that
He's-
he did not do a good job in Destiny.
He just took the paycheck and just like, yeah, I'm just gonna read this, and it's like a phone book to me.
Because I own the game, never even put it in my PS4. Don't really plan on it.
It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's just that I can't follow the story because I'm sitting there like, what did you do? Did you like take a fucking sip of tea and just sit there for like and just read the script through? There's no inflection. There's no. It's like Norm Macdonald on Quaaludes.
All right, I'm in.
You get another one?
You want to do another one?
There's another one.
All right, let's do another one.
Do the whole fucking list. I don't care.
We ever know we might die in a motorcycle accident, so we can just go ahead and do the whole list in one setting and slowly parse it out for the next year.
It would be the safe thing to do. Mm-hmm. All right, here is another call. This is from 614.
Hey, TADPOG. This is number one SoundCloud fan, Kyle. I was just wondering what your opinions were about Betty White passing away and it being overshadowed by Caitlyn Jenner being revealed to the world. I thought it was awesome that she got a lot of news coverage, but poor Betty White, no one even covered her death. I just think it's sad. So, I was wondering what you guys thought about it. It's sad. Bye.
There's no way Betty White died, and I don't know about it.
Oh, thank God you're not, because I was sitting here like, fucking Betty White died?
Yeah. Betty White dead 2015, actress killed by celebrity death hoax.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's a hoax.
fucking liar. I'm kind of mad now because I was like, I love Betty White. How did she die?
Yeah, no, I was feeling some real sadness over here.
I would have seen the Highlander memes because there's already been enough. So there would have been like an outpouring on Reddit of the last
most
one being
tasteful
gone.
probably would have been the Star Wars thing where because you've seen the one where she's holding the lightsaber and the other 3 Golden Girls are looking on.
Yeah.
Then she joins them and she's looking on.
What's up? Why do people do that? Like the celebrity death hoax. Like, well, I don't understand why that's funny. Like,
Yeah.
I've never thought that's funny.
I did have to laugh out loud whenever Lord Matt Barger posted about Rue McClanahan's death. I was like, oh man, you guys, this is hard. And
That's really sad.
And then Jacob replies with a zoomed in photograph of the date of the article of like 2012.
I know. And then I felt awful because I was like, oh God, she's been dead for a while.
So I think she was the first one to go. She's the youngest of the 4.
Yeah. Because then it was, after that, it was, gosh.
Because Rue McClanahan's the youngest, then Betty White, and then Sophia's actually like a month younger than B. Arthur.
Yeah.
So then B. Arthur being the oldest.
And didn't B. Arthur, she died like shortly after doing that roast, didn't she?
Yeah.
'Cause I
After
remember-
the roast of Pamela Anderson
Yeah.
when she fucking killed it.
I know. And that was like,
God. Her just reading just straight full of expletives from Pamela Anderson's autobiography was fucking fantastic.
do you think she went to the doctor and the doctor's like, hey, if you ever think of like doing something crazy, do it the next couple months? She's like, I know.
I know. I do want to read about how to get fucked in the ass.
My theory is that book killed her.
It gave her Hep C. So, like, it will eventually kill Pamela Anderson. It already killed Betty White.
I think it's mostly like my grandfather. He was very, very old, and he smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day since he was 14. Ooh. And he told me never to smoke. And he died of lung cancer. And I quit smoking. Never got cancer. But this fucking book, I should have kept smoking because this fucking book gave me cancer.
Well, thanks for perpetuating the
You almost got us.
the death hoax, Kyle.
I've got all my Google alerts set to Betty White, so trust me, I know.
All right, we got another call. This is from 651.
Motherfucking Tadpog. It's Cody again.
What's up, Cody?
Now, Tyler, Dave,
Yes, Cody.
Yes, Cody.
insert guest name here.
Paul.
Yes, Cody?
I went and saw Jurassic World,
Ah,
and there's a lot of bitches get eaten in that movie. So, I mean, it's a weird question, I know. But if you were to get eaten by any dinosaur, and this is the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park mythos of dinosaurs, so not the raptors that are tiny like in actual life, but the raptors that are 4 feet tall in the movies.
JP Raptors. Yeah. Okay.
Which dinosaur would you like to be eaten by? I mean, I would probably choose. I don't even know. Probably a T-Rex or the Abdominal Rex, like they have in the movie. I can't even remember the fucking name of the movie. The Rex now. Probably the T-Rex would be one bite most likely, or a raptor would just rip the shit out of you. But it's getting long, so I'm gonna holler at you later.
All right, Cody. I like this question.
Well, being eaten doesn't necessarily mean dead. So maybe like a brontosaurus, because the plant eaters, maybe their digestion is a little more mild. Maybe you can make it through to the other side.
You just want to give a dinosaur diarrhea.
Yeah, essentially.
Like, if you're gonna eat me, asshole, guess what?
That's one of my 5 achievements. Give the dinosaur diarrhea.
This is a great question. This is a question I've been thinking about for years. For years.
You've always said we don't get enough dinosaur questions.
I've never said that, but I do stand behind it. I love dinosaur questions. I loved dinosaurs as a kid. I still love dinosaurs. I did see Jurassic World. It was a fun movie. I have been thinking about what kind of dinosaur I would like to eat me. And the answer to that is I want a Nedry out. I want the Dilophosaur. to kill me and eat me, because you know that whatever it spits, that black goo, get you high for just a little bit. So like you're dying as it's eating you. You're just seeing angels and shit. Everything else I feel like is just too brutal. Like I get.
You want to go out BioShock 2 style.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I get where you're coming from, Cody, with the Indominus Rex, but here's the deal. I couldn't handle that, because the whole time I'd be like, this thing hunts for sport. It's enjoying this. It's enjoying eating me. Whereas like another dinosaur, it's just like, it's just a circle of life. That's it. Mm-hmm. The Elton John song is playing while I'm getting eaten by the Dilophosaur.
Paul?
It's a damn good question. I've been thinking about the entire time, and honestly, it depends. If I'm already dead, probably the compies. Feed them.
Oh,
they're little shits anyway. If not, I'd probably want to go lawyer style and go while I'm taking a shit in the porta potty and just getting fucking chomped by a T-Rex. Fuck it. At least if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go shitting.
I think I love that you bring up the porta potty, because every time I watch a porn video of like some glory hole or something, and anything happen like within a portable toilet, I start laughing because I think how funny it would end if like a Tyrannosaurus Rex just like ate them. Like that's just how it ends. Like
I think I'm more concerned about the fact that you're watching porn with porta potties in it.
Really? Come on, man. Come on. You've been listening for every episode, right?
I missed the last couple because I've been sick, but yeah, pretty much every episode.
Well, the last couple episodes I get on a really big porta potty porn kick.
Fair enough.
Mario Italiano was almost porta potty porn with John and Mike.
I hear you with the compies, man, but like that's a slow death. They're gonna eat. You're gonna be like 400 Thanksgiving meals to them.
I did stipulate that I was already dead in that scenario.
Okay, I mean that is fair. That's fair.
Because I just want to provide them with some food. They're not going to do anything else. They're just food for the raptors. Circle of life type shit. But if I wasn't dead, then it's T-Rex in the porta potty, because I'm going to go shitting anyway.
All right.
Did you guys see Jurassic World?
Yep.
I haven't yet.
Okay. There is a really gruesome death in that movie that I won't talk about because you haven't seen it, Paul. But it does involve pterodactyls.
Yeah. But man, Bryce Dallas Howard is so hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So hot.
When she has eyebrows, yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at the guy she came from and you wonder, how did this happen?
Well, I've always thought like Ron Howard, he'd make a pretty girl. And what do you know? What do you know?
You know what? I've thought that too.
I'm always like, yeah. Turn that out, Andy
Now,
Griffith.
Clint
Dress him up. Oh, shit.
Clint Howard, man.
Yeah, Clint Howard, everything went wrong.
Imagine that coming at you in a glory hole.
Just like a wiener with Clint Howard's face on it.
Sad orc-like thing with warts on it and shit. I'm sorry, Clint Howard. I love you.
He's a big listener.
He loves the show.
Ron, not so much. Clint, however, yeah.
Well, yeah, you want to fuck his daughter.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, though. Who doesn't?
That's a lot of people, though. Yeah.
That's an achievement, is what you're saying.
Tyler does Dallas.
It's pretty good.
There we go. That's all right. Good. I roll with that. And it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm done.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Thanks for coming on, Paul.
Absolutely.
I appreciate
Anytime,
it,
guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Tell us. I know we talked briefly about What's Paul Playing. Tell us where we can find you online.
You can find me generally at facebook.com/What's Paul Playing Today. That's all one word. You can find me on YouTube. Just search for What's Paul Playing Today. I tag all my videos, and my channel name's the same. I need to find a way to change my Twitch profile because I can't. Unfortunately, Twitch doesn't allow you to change it, but it's currently at twitch.tv/RAZOKKULL because I was an idiot and didn't think ahead. You can also find me on Twitter. I don't tweet often, but it's always episodes, when I'm just about to go, either episode postings for when I've posted them on YouTube or when I'm about to go live, and it's at Paul Clewell, PaulClewell. Go ahead and Google me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. So don't miss the next episode. We'll be finishing our epic journey into Paper Mario. And after that, I don't know. Who knows? Other shit Monday, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's the biggest marketplace. I know more people have Androids where they like to go, but still the biggest is iTunes. Yeah, my bulbs just burned out. So Dave and I were like, "Whoa,
What happened? Are we about to die?"
I heard it. I heard it snap.
So if you help us out, helps the show out a lot. If you go to iTunes, give us a 5-star written review. Helps us pop up in searches more. More people see the show, the bigger we get, the better it gets. Everything's great. So we try to further incentivize you to help us. Help us, help you, help us. In that 5-star written review, if there's a game you want us to play, a guest host you want for a certain episode, put it in there. And we promise we will get to that eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about more Paper Mario. We might talk about the game a little bit more than we did last time. We might not. I don't know. We're going to try to get Ramon back. Hopefully he can join us. In the meantime, you can always find us at tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. I literally have People McNuggets already entered in there as a show note, so you might as well go there and check it out. You can also find us on Facebook. We are at facebook.com/tadpog. There's a lot of cool people there, Paul included, doing a lot of cool shit. So if you're on there, check us out. If you have something to say about this episode, that's like the perfect place to let us know. You can find us on Twitter. We are at tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you for everybody who is retweeting us and tweeting at us. We especially like the episode retweets because that gets the word out about the show to people who may not have heard about us before. And who knows, might enjoy us. I mean, there's a possibility, a slim possibility. Maybe they like, I'm curious. Here's what I want this week. If you could tweet us, I want to know what kind of dinosaur you would like to be eaten by. That's really what I want to know. I'll have a conversation with you all week about the best dinosaur to eat you. And I'll open it up to, like, it doesn't have to be a Jurassic Park dinosaur. It can be any dinosaur. We can have a real paleontological conversation about the digestive tracts of dinosaurs. You know what else? If you want to call us, like some of these people, wonderful people have, you can. You can do that at 270-883-2555. Try to keep it under 3 minutes if possible. Let's get more Beetlejuice questions. I like that. I like. Let's get more Beetlejuice questions, more dinosaur questions, more celebrity death hoaxes. I'm all for all of those things.
Especially call if you're horny for Beetlejuice.
Yes. If you're listening and you are horny for Beetlejuice, please call.
Chandra, if you know any of Beetlejuice erotica you want to read.
That's an excellent request. Yes, I second that.
I actually have set up Chandra with a perfect new one. Oh, God, it is awesome Canadian porn, and it's going to be great.
Canadian Beetlejuice porn?
No, it's not Beetlejuice. I can't ruin it, but I can't wait for to hear it. I'm so excited. It's going to be great.
I'm also looking forward to this. If you also, there's another thing. If you want to donate to the show, we welcome that. You can do that at patreon.com/tadpog. It's entirely optional. Several people have done it already. Paul, you have definitely contributed, and thank you very much for that.
Of course.
It's completely optional, but it does help keep the lights on, except for the one that just went out while we were recording. So
it also
somebody withdrew a Patreon pledge, and
hot pizzas.
And we recently had, I just remembered his name. I just took note of it because we had said on the podcast, like, we said something about England. They're like, no one listens in England. And I was like, I think we have one guy who does. So then our next Patreon pledger was somebody in England. So
now we need to call out another country. We got no listeners in Austria. Now that sweet, sweet Austria money is going to start rolling in.
There's nobody in Zimbabwe.
Oh, man. Hey, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Our theme song.
I know it's this shifty movement. Moves.
Nailed it.
By whom?
Sycamore Drive?
Yeah. We're going to link to that track we found.
In the show notes at tadpog.com.
Ah, the show nuts. There it is.
I'm not sorry. I had to.
No, you shouldn't be.
How would you like to close this out?
Oh, Christ. That's a good question. How about sneezing down a woman's cleavage?
All right.
So until next time. Titties. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thanks for recording
I
with
like-
us.
Yeah, I also like boobs. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, every time I want to like cough or something, I'm always like, I should mute myself, but I'm worried
You'll
that
forget.
I'm worried. No, I'm worried I'm going to mute you instead. Because like you'll be in the middle of saying something, I'm like, oh, I got to cough. Like I can mute myself on the soundboard, but I know what'll happen is you'll be in the middle of telling something, and you'll just go completely silent, and then there'll be a cough. Then you'll
Right
go,
in the middle of something, it's just- Tyler's muted. Cough, cough, cough. Tyler unmutes.